Good morning or afternoon for some people. This is Lauren Miller, founder of StressSolutionsUniversity.com, and welcome to this morning's 15-minute stress relief hot seat call, and another great topic for those everyday stress triggers that we experience going through our Earth experience here. This topic actually is one that comes from my own internal practice, and I'm going to be providing you with actually 5 specific tips that you can explore and see what works for you. The topic is on ruminating remedies. Let's begin the call, first and foremost, by letting the members know on StressSolutionsUniversity.com that this call will be recorded and dropped into the university. If you are not a member yet, I encourage you to explore becoming one. We are providing stress solutions made easy and sustainable for you, and you can explore at StressSolutionsUniversity.com. Please do not forget, when you do join, that you can sponsor in for free somebody you know going through the experience of cancer or who is a wounded warrior. I'm also partnering with GenuinePearlGirls.com, and if you become a member there, you get to waive the initial tuition fee. So let's begin. Ruminating. Let's dismantle this by gaining a little bit of understanding around the definition of rumination. Basically, one of my favorite definitions actually comes from Wikipedia, and it defines rumination as the compulsively focused attention on symptoms of one's distress and on its possible causes and consequences as opposed to its solutions. I'm going to repeat that because I'm going to be working to dismantle this definition to provide you with those solutions. So rumination is defined as the compulsively focused attention on symptoms of one's distress, whatever that might be, and on its possible causes and consequences as opposed to its solutions. Rumination flows from an unsatisfied state of being and is often fueled by one's self-judgments due to unmet goals. This is an internal game. It's a destructive internal game that we actually lean ourselves into very quickly. I continually fascinate myself at how quickly I'll focus on what's not working out for me and in my favor versus what is working out for me. In fact, that's a very good examination of conscience this morning. What percentage of your thought life is taken up focusing on what is working out for you versus what's not working out for you? Ruminating is basically fueled by past negative feelings and emotions, the residue, your emotional bandwidth residue from unmet goals, unmet expectations, and oftentimes a sense of entitlement that is not fulfilled. And anxiety, actually, there's a separation between the two because we're focusing on the past here today. Anxiety and worry is actually over the future, fear of future failure, fear of future misfortune, fear of future physical challenges, whatever that might be. So we're focusing on the past for the time that we have together this morning. So in the sense of rumination, I'll share with you a quick story. I was actually the keynote speaker at an American Cattle Women's Association event recently, and I was informed, and I mentioned this on another call, that ruminating is actually a word that came from cows. And I'll explain how we can use that knowing later for a possible solution. Ruminating, then the physical example of it is chewing on the cud, the mental cud, swallowing it, and then it pops back up again, chewing on the same cud and swallowing it back and forth and back and forth. So when you see those cows in the field, you'll be able to relate to them next time and realize, hey, I do the same thing on a daily basis. So I want to start with an example here. this is just a hypothetical situation that you can apply to any challenge in life when life doesn't show up for you the way you desire life to show up for you. Let's just say you're busting it at work and doing the best you can with your eye on a possible promotion that you know is coming around the corner. You have communicated clearly and effectively that you would like to be considered for the position. And when I say clearly and effectively, meaning you have made yourself known, you have spoken your truth to upper management or the people that are in charge or going to be the gatekeepers of this promotion, that your gifts and talents, the value you offer, you are confident aligns with the job position that's coming up that would champion the company toward personal success. By you filling that position. That's very clear because many times we'll assume we're being very clear and effective in our communication, but yet we haven't gone through the necessary steps to make sure the people in charge of the specific desired positions in life know our intentions very clearly. So once you have communicated clearly and effectively that you would like to be considered for the position, that position, and it would result in an increased pay and responsibility, you come to find out that one of your colleagues was picked for this position over you. Now, you can apply, this is basically a scenario of life not showing up for you the way that you felt you were entitled to or expected, or you just went for it 100% and somebody else was picked for the position. You have several choices of response available to you. And as I've mentioned on many previous calls, the world is full of creative solutions. It is simply our perceptions that limit our ability to tune into the available options. So you have a couple of choices of response here, and many of them are primal, beginning with ugly talk. This is a ruminating. Why did this happen? Why didn't they pick me? So this is the self-lashing. And many times we'll just flip to this instinctively. We'll get that defensiveness and feel it within our body. When life doesn't show up the way I want it to, we begin to cut ourselves down. We begin to implode, explode. Then the other choice is to cut your colleague down, start gossiping in a feeble attempt to feel superior, which is only cutting your own internal programs down ultimately. However, these are possible responses that we can choose from. Awareness leads to solution. So be aware, even if you start to dabble in the ruminating and ugly self-talk, as well as the gossip and cutting your colleague down, catch yourself. Observe yourself doing it. Without judgment, simple observation to give you a gap to drop in some of the solutions that I'm going to be offering you this morning. The other option, and there are many options, you can apply a healthy self-care system that allows you the mental space to stand outside of the conflict. And here are a few. I'm going to give you 5 this morning for the sake of the time that we do have together, which I am keeping track of that right now. The first one is this. Once you're faced with an internal or external conflict going on, focus on one positive action step forward. Ask yourself a simple question. What do I want to do about it? What do I want to do about it? This pushes the mind out of the primal brain and pushes you back into solution-based thinking, or the executive thinking portion of our mind. Our goal when we're feeling steamrolled by life, when life doesn't show up the way we want it to, and that causes rumination. Why did this happen? Why did this happen? I can't believe they said that. I can't believe they didn't give me that. I deserve that. All that kind of ruminating thinking that shuts our ability to tune into solutions down. Our ultimate goal is to be able to ignite our God-given ability to tune in, access, and apply easily and sustainably solutions that propel us forward, champion us forward in a positive direction in life. So first and foremost, focus on one positive action step forward. This happened. What do I want to do about it? One small forward action towards solution. 2, this is one of my favorites, and I teach from the trenches, as I've mentioned before. I'm not inviting you to explore anything I don't do on a daily basis. Serve another human being. Number 2, serve another human being. This brings perspective to your situation. When you put yourself in the presence of another human being who's going through any kind of suffering, whether that be physical or mental, it gives you that perspective on your situation. Number 3, increase your safety and connection. 2 of your basic needs, next to your food and shelter, are safety and connection. Get out and reinforce connections with your primary support group. What is your primary support group? You have one at work, you have one at home. When you experience something that will trigger you into ruminating thinking, as quickly as possible, make a positive connection. Move forward to your support group. Gain support. Not to gossip, not to say in the place of victimization, I can't believe this happened to me, but to use it to fuel you into positive possibilities that will lead to your personal success and personal excellence in life. And you can even brainstorm some possible solutions to your situation that didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Remember, failure is just a label we place on an undesirable outcome. So as you connect with your support group, this will boost your confidence that life can move forward in a positive direction in light of the negative outcome. Similar to opening up windows in a stuffy home, it opens up headspace and reinforces your ability to create positive momentum in life. Number 4, this is something you can do on your feet and right on the spot when you open up the email or you get the news that life didn't show up for you the way you wanted it to, because that's the archway through which negative rumination walks through. Use flip statements. What are flip statements? These are a few examples. Small statements that actually trigger your mindset out of the negative ruminating thought. We actually ruminate in sound bites, constant little sound bites. Either they're negative or they're positive. So to use flip statements is a psychological way to flip the negative into the positive. Here are a few. Be here now. All things are possible for those who believe. I choose to believe the solution exists. I will tune into it quickly, easily, and naturally. I've moved through conflict. This is another one. I'm saying them individually. These are all little sound bites. I've moved through conflict successfully in the past. I choose to do it again now, easily and naturally. That's one of my favorite ones. I've moved through conflict successfully in the past, and I choose to do it again now, easily and naturally. Because this is pulling from your past successes. This is a little timeline therapy. And so subconsciously, it's the domino effect up to your present moment. I've gone through conflict before. I can do this again. And then a simple prayer of, Dear God, help me to pass the test for greater good in my life and the lives of all concerned. Another one is focusing on, through a simple statement, what's going in my favor? What is working out for me? These are all little flip statements. I'm just offering them as suggestions. Make your own flip statements that land powerfully and quickly in your mind to flip you and open up those doors to help your executive thinking portion of the brain tune into the available solutions and options. It's expanding your options. That's what allows you to breathe deeply. The other factor to this is to remember to stay connected to your breath. Always stay connected to your breath, because restricted breathing comes when we don't feel safe or connected or when we feel threatened. That's when we're unable to do acts of service. That's why that's number 2. To act your way into feeling will pull you out of that stuck portion of primal brain thinking. And last but not least, number 5, I've mentioned this before, it's a very powerful technique to flip negative ruminating into positive. And this is simply the more technique. It's a neurolinguistic programming technique. And basically you state what is not working out for you. What specifically are you ruminating on? I encourage you to write it down in one sentence. I can't stop thinking about what. Write that down. As soon as you write that down, you simply say, you put it into the more template, which is the more I am thinking about this. Then you add one of your flip statements. The more I'm able to increase my confidence that I've moved successfully through a similar conflict in the past, and I can do it again. So you basically take the more template and fill in the thought that you're ruminating on, and then your counter positive thought. The more this, your negative statement, the more I'm able to more I'm able to tune into creative solution-based thinking on my feet, whatever your flip statement is. So those are 5 quick solutions to help you to create those self-care systems that will clear up that mental space to help you stand outside of the conflict. In conclusion, focus on what is working out for you. Pull specifics from your timeline, past successes, and concentrate on those past successes and your God-given ability to move through into a creative solution, no matter what's going on around you. Focus very clearly and call yourself out on that negative rumination. As Bruce Barton said, all things splendid are achieved by those who dared to believe that something inside them is superior to circumstance. So your job this week, your invitation this week, is to give more value and confidence in your ability to successfully handle perceived setbacks than you do to the perceived conflict. Enjoy practicing, and even if you take one tip today, even if it's just coming up with your own flip statements, you will be moving forward in a positive direction when it comes to diluting the negative effects of ruminating, focusing on the distress and its possible causes and consequences rather than its solutions. I invite you to explore StressSolutionsUniversity.com. Oh, and another thing, just launched a Cancer Conquerors Mindset. You can access that 30-day support program at laurenmiller.placeboeffect.com. I have 3 programs up there now. We just launched the Cancer Conquerors Mindset 30-day support program. Enjoy practicing, and I look forward to talking to you soon. God bless. Enjoy your gift of life.